This is cabin 4045 on the Nieuw Statendam. This is kind of a different cabin layout. It's a sideways obstructed view veranda. But if you could book one of these cabins, of which there's only a few, it can actually be a pretty good value. As you can see, the sideways layout has a pretty nice advantage of having two full-size windows, one of which is your veranda door, as well as a large open floor space that makes the room somewhat appear bigger than it actually is, and I think a little bit more spacious than a typical veranda cabin, especially the obstructed view. We've had signature suites in the past on other Holland America vessels, and this almost feels like a miniature version of that. Now obviously you don't get the large bathroom that you would get in a signature suite, but the spacious floor plan and the sideways layout is very similar, as well as the balcony size. Typical to the cabins, you get the bar space. I think you do actually lose a little bit of closet space because the closets are in the room, that door over there being the main entryway door, versus in the hallway when you would first walk in a typical veranda. But as you can see, we've kind of done this video to showcase the cabin as we've lived in it here on our cruise in the Caribbean. And you can see it does hold all of our clothing items very easily for both my wife and I. This cabinet here, you'll find the refrigerator, safe, as well as other miscellaneous belongings go in this cabin here, as well as drawers below that we have clothing items. Full minibar area. We did have some bottles of water delivered to the cabin, which we could stow there. Wine glasses. They do have a corkscrew available in the cabin. We were able to bring 2 bottles of wine on board for us to consume here in the cabin. Reading lights by the bed, activated by the switch here. You do have 120 volt and USB outlets on both sides of the bed, so no real need for an extension cord if you have a CPAP. As you can see, we have here stored next to the bed, which is nice. More outlets over here. As you can see, you have two European style outlets, as well as two, actually make that 3 120 volt outlets, as well as looks like 1 USB outlet over here as well. The TV is in kind of an awkward position because of the layout of the room. However, it is a full motion TV mount that you get. So you could pull this out and you can actually tilt it and turn it either towards the bed, which is completely towards the bed. As you can see, it's very easily seen from the bed in this position, or you could flip it around the other way and angle it towards the small couch that you do have tucked in that alcove over here in the corner. Now you can see this is the evening time. We have just departed Half Moon Key. Actually looks like the ship is still here. We're just getting ready to leave. Now here's the small alcove. You can see you get a little couch. I don't know if the couches in the full veranda cabins or obstructed view verandas are the same size or if they're slightly larger, but this is definitely only a 2-person cabin, so there's no sleeping accommodations on this couch. Above here you have your life jacket storage. Not really going to be able to put much of anything else in these cabinets, but nice thing about that is it does keep the life jackets out of the closet area. Going out onto the balcony, you see the real advantage about this room. It is a very spacious balcony. It has to be close to 20 feet wide in its entirety. Now, as you can see, you do have a couple of lights on here. Here's the second window, as well as the balcony door. You have 2 seats with footrests, as well as a small table, although you could fit significantly more furniture out here if you needed to. The balconies do open up, so if you had other guests that you were traveling with and you wanted to book the adjacent cabins, you could open these up to make it even larger. Here you can see is the obstructed view. We wouldn't consider this significantly obstructed at all. The advantage of this is you have this very spacious cabin and balcony, but at a very attractive price, as it is at a significant discount to a standard veranda. And I think that this cabin, as well as I believe there's 3 additional ones on deck 4, and then the same cabins on deck 5 above on all of the Pinnacle class vessels that are the same layout. So if you could find these, again, these are obstructed views. They're cheaper than a regular veranda, and I think significantly better. This is cabin 4045 on the Nieuw Statendam.